This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Jamaicans must get permits to host entertainment events, Minister of Local Government insists. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie is reminding Jamaicans that they must get the requisite approvals before staging entertainment events. In a release, McKenzie shared that a lot of parties are going to be held and there is a process. Before COVID, you would go to the municipal corporations and the police and put in your applications for your parties. That is still in place. The minister was addressing a community meeting in Gregory Park, St. Catherine on Thursday, March 18, when he urged promoters and partygoers to do what is right. I want to urge you were faithful during COVID, continue to be faithful in doing what is necessary, because if you don't, the police are going to shut them down, seize the equipment, and you know the consequences of that, he said, while indicating that all measures including mask wearing, hand washing, and sanitization are still necessary to control the spread of the coronavirus. He said that despite the withdrawal of the Disaster Risk Management Act, the virus still poses risk to the well-being of many people, and they must act for their own safety. NWA establishes detour along Grants Pen Road in St. Thomas. The National Works Agency is advising the motoring public that a detour is now in effect along the Grants Pen Main Road in St. Thomas. The detour forms a part of the new alignment under the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project and will facilitate the commencement of works to create an embankment for the southern lanes in Grants Pen. The road is part of the new highway and will accommodate vehicles in either direction. Manager for Communication and Customer Services at the NWA, Stephen Shaw, said that works on the Grants Pen Main Road will continue for a period of 6 months. During this time, works to be done include the construction of the permanent access into the Grants Pen community and the installation of traffic signals. Motorists who will be using the detour during the period of works are being advised to obey the instructions of flagged persons and posted warning signs. Man wanted for 6 murders killed by police. Ainsley Woodburn, who was wanted for 6 murders and several shooting incidents, has been killed by the police. The police say Woodburn was shot dead during a confrontation with a lawman in Bel-Air Meadows, St. Anne yesterday. The police are also reporting that a Glock pistol containing 7 rounds of ammunition was taken from him. Opposition leader to participate in events to commemorate royal visit. Opposition leader Mark Golding has shared that given his constitutional office, he will be present at the events scheduled by the government of Jamaica during the visit of the Duke and the Duchess of Cambridge. In a release, Golding said that he has been invited to participate in various events during the royal visit, including the Duke and the Duchess's arrival at the airport, a visit to his constituency, and a state dinner. It is in the interest of the Jamaican people that the opposition be present and able to make our views on these fundamental issues known to the royals. Constructive dialogue is the best way to move this process forward, and attending these events provides an opportunity for this, Golding said. The issues at hand are not about current personalities, but rather about the imperative of principled reckoning with the past, and I intend to directly communicate our position on these issues. The opposition also revealed that it has been consistent in repeatedly calling on the government to commence and diligently pursue with bipartisan support the constitutional process for Jamaica to become a republic by replacing the British monarch with a Jamaican as our head of state. Indicating that it is aware of planned protest during the royal visit, the opposition says it fully supports the calls for the British monarch to make an authentic and a profound apology for the role played by their family in the slave trade, chattel slavery, and the plantation system, and also for a public acknowledgement that they benefited from it. The opposition says it agrees that such an apology and acknowledgement would be an appropriate way for the British monarchy to commence the process of atonement for their role in this aspect of our history. The Duke and the Duchess of Cambridge are set to visit Jamaica from March 22 to March 24. According to King's House, the official visit forms a part of the celebrations to mark the 70th anniversary Platinum Jubilee of the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II and the 60th anniversary of Jamaica's independence. Several parties shut down on the weekend for not having permits. A number of parties were shut down in St. Ann on the weekend after the organizers failed to apply for an entertainment permit. Assistant Commissioner Calvin Allen, head of Area 2 headquarters, says the promoters will be brought before the court. ACP Allen says operations were carried out on Saturday night and several pieces of musical equipment were seized under the Noise Abatement Act. He urged the promoters to go through the normal processes in order to stage an event. Things are back to normal, but there are some basic legal requirements to hold your event, and we want for persons to abide by those, he appealed. The police will be hosting sensitization sessions with event organizers in the coming weeks. Measures under the Disaster Risk Management Act were withdrawn last week, paving the way for the resumption of entertainment events. However, the government and the police have warned that promoters must apply for a permit 10 days prior to the event.
Several pieces of musical equipment seized under the Noise Abatement Act, and persons have been prosecuted. So the whole aspect of going through the proper processes in order to get your permit to hold an event holds true. Things are back to normal, but there are some basic legal requirements to hold your event, and we want for persons to abide by those.
Fraud Squad probing job scam. The fraud squad is investigating an overseas job scam which is reportedly being operated by criminals from behind the bars. 30 people have been swindled out of $30,000 after seeing an advertisement about jobs in Cayman. About 15 people showed up at the fraud squad on Monday afternoon to complain about being scammed. One of the victims, Roxanne Francis, who resigned from her job, said she made arrangements to leave the island on Saturday after being promised work.
We would have worked for the company approximately 2 weeks with pay before we're able to migrate to the Cayman Island, which is on the 19th. We were able to visit the office within that period. However, we were not paid that salary, which was what was promised. During that duration, we had to be going back and forth with the persons because the information was not communicated effectively among everyone. Some persons were not aware as to what was happening. So you had persons traveling from various different parishes to get information because they were never contacted during that period.
It's reported that victims of the scam were offered positions in a startup company. 2 charged in relation to gun find at a Kingston warehouse remanded. The 2 foreigners who are charged in relation to the seizure of 21 firearms and 2,216 rounds of ammunition at a warehouse on Industrial Terrace in Kingston earlier this month were remanded when they appeared in the Home Circuit Court on Monday. They are scheduled to return to court on April 7. Jermaine Baker, a 36-year-old chef of Sunrise, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Dervon Brown, a 42-year-old construction worker of Bronx, New York, are charged with illegal importation of firearms and ammunition. A bail application is expected to be made during the next hearing. The 18 handguns and 3 rifles were found in a box which was destined for Moko Clarendon. A number of boxes containing ammunition were also found. Men charged in relation to cocaine bust in St. James granted bail. The 2 St. Ann men who were charged with drug trafficking in relation to a multi-million-dollar cocaine bust in Montego Bay, St. James, almost 2 weeks ago, were granted bail when they appeared before the parish court on Friday. Daniel Mayer, 56, a former nightclub operator of Marine Gardens, Ocho Rios, was offered a bail in the sum of $250,000, and his co-accused David Byfield, a 36-year-old fisherman from Lime Hall, was offered a bail in the sum of $400,000. The men are to return to the St. James Parish Court on June 10, when it is expected that the case file will be completed. The men were arrested on March 10 after the police intercepted a vehicle in which they were traveling on the Barretown Main Road and seized 2 kilograms of cocaine valued at US $100,000. Mr. Byfield was also charged under the Proceeds of Crime Act after he was allegedly found with $370,000. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.